Yo, welcome once again. It's me, Platinum. Welcome to the Platinum TV. Today, 2020 Chevy Tahoe front brakes we're gonna be doing. Show you a quick, easy way to do them. Less hassle. And from the previous video, we're gonna use the tool that I made to get the brakes done. So once again, 2020 Chevy Tahoe. We're gonna do the front brakes. So let's get to it. All right. So first thing we're gonna do. We're going to remove the 12 bolt from right here. It's a T30. T30 is the top bolt. So we're going to remove it. Remove the bolt. If you don't use the impact, you can use a punch, hit it, remove it as well, because those are going to be stuck. Second thing is there's two pins, one here, and it slides straight across. So we're going to hit them out with a little punch tool, screwdriver, whichever you can get to use to hit those out. We're going to hit those out. There we go. Once you hit them out, you're going to pull the pins out. Trick is once you pull the pins out, take a wire wheel, sandpaper, something, and you're gonna clean them up. So I'm gonna do that right now, clean them up. Now we're here at the wire wheel, we're gonna clean these up, the pins. Now we got the pins all cleaned up from the brake dust that was kicked on it. Now we're gonna head back over to the truck. Alright, so the purpose of cleaning the pins, because they'll be caked up with brake dust. So when you try to put them back in, they'll be very hard and to put back in. So that's why you clean them off to make the job easier when you're reinstalling. So the next thing is there's two 18mm bolts in the back. Let me see if I can see it. There's two 18mm bolts back here, one to the top and one down here to the bottom. One to the bottom, one to the top. We're going to loosen those up to remove the whole caliper bracket in order to get the brake pads out. 18mm. Once you get the two bolts out, just put them aside. Then you can wobble caliper off. You can get a screwdriver, pry bar, and just depress the calipers to loosen it up. There it goes. You want to be careful not to leave it hang, or you can destroy the brake line. So you got to be very careful with that. Once you get it up, the brake pads will fall out. So once you get that off, you can hang it up there for now and take a strap and then hook it so it can be out your way. So what I do, take my zip tie, I put it on, loop it around the control arm, put it up, and we hold it there with the zip tie. So now it's hanging safely, not stretching the line. Now you can do just remove the rotor. Remove the rotor. And put the new one on. Now Now when you're putting the new wheel on, there's a center hole to where the little screw goes. So make sure that is lined back up. So you can put the little screw back in to hold the rotor. Once you get a screw in, you take your 30 Torx, finish it up, tighten it up. All you have to do with this one, you just snug it. You don't have to be Superman tight. Just make sure it's snug so it holds the rotor. You don't want that to be too tight or you can break it off. So the next step is to depress the pistons in the caliper and put the pads back in. So right now we're going to depress the pistons. So we're going to take one brake pad and put it on the inside. So we're going to take the brake tool, put it on the inside. Now we're going to rotate it. And push the pistons back. So we're just going to push the pistons back. This is dual pistons. 3 pistons on this side, 3 pistons on that side, 6 pistons in all. So this tool is just pushing the pistons back so we can have our clearance. That's it. And once you push it back, you just remove the tool. Remove the tool on the pads. They should be good to go. Now we get the pistons pushed back. Time for the brake pads. Make sure you pull the blue film off the pads. Don't put them in there with that blue film on. Remove it. Once you remove the films, then you put the brake pads in place. So you're gonna take this. So this here goes on the back side where the pin goes through the hole on the side. So make sure to line them up to where the pin goes through. And just set them in there. So all you need to do is just set the pads in its spot. So as this one, just set it in there.
Hey, good morning.
Morning. So once you set the pads in there, next thing, once your pads are set inside the piston, you can release it from here and slide it back on. So that's what we're gonna do next. So now we're gonna put, the way to do it, take your hand, slip it in between the two pads so they stay in place, and just flip it over. Once you flip it, you can just slide it on. See that? Slides right on. Okay? That's step 1. Step 2, we're going to put the bolts back in. We're going to add some Loctite to the bolts. So the bolts, if anything happens safety-wise, it doesn't back out. So I'm adding Loctite to the bolts. I'm putting them back in the back, the 18 millimeters. So once you put your 18 millimeters back in, it's time to tighten it back up. Now they are tight. This is back on. Now it's time for the Ninja tool. All right. So it's time to use the tool. So what you're gonna do, you can take it, slip one end into the top, slip one end into the bottom. There we go. Crank that down some so it don't come loose. Crank this down some a little bit so it don't come loose. Right there. Just take a socket, tighten it up, and this will pull the spring back. That's in here. That'll pull the spring back, and that'll allow you to pull the pads in and line them up with the holes so you can get the pins in. Place the two arms, pull the spring back. So all you need is some pliers. Grab the peg pad, pull the top back, go to the bottom, and pull it back. Once you get that lined up with the hole, take the first pin and push it through. See how the pin just came through right there? See how the pin came through so easily? And you do the same thing for the bottom. Line it up. Push the pin through. See that? And then, once you get the pin halfway through, you do the same thing for the other side pad. You pull it through. So sometimes the pad might get stuck. So you just might want to hit it back to loosen it up. There we go. Once you get that in there, once everything is lined up, take that hammer and tap the pins in. There's some little rivets to the end of the pin. You get to tap them in all the way. Once you tap them in, now you can release it. Now the pins are in place, came all the way through. Just release the spring. That's how the tool works. If you haven't seen how I made a tool, go to my last video, you'll see how I made a tool. Snitch. So, brake system is back together by using the tool I create. Once again, you can refer to the last video I made, how I made the tool. Make this much easier, and you don't have to fight this spring anymore when you're trying to push the pads back in from the opposite side. This makes the job much easier. So, once again, thanks for watching. This is Platinum TV. 2020 Chevy Tahoe front brakes has been done. Like, comment, subscribe. If you have any questions, just hit me up. I'm out.